I would venture to say that every person here at some point in time, you've looked at your life, you said, I'm not sure God could really use me. I don't feel like I have very much to offer. And Peter was at that place in his life, as we said a moment ago, I'm going to go back and do what I did before. There is no future for me. But Jesus showed up in Peter's life when Peter was in one of his most desperate moments. I am thankful that Jesus shows up when we're desperate, aren't you? Okay? That when you're in a desperate moment, you feel like that there's no hope for your future, Jesus is right there. Jesus came to them where they were. They were fishing, catching nothing. He said, throw your nets to the other side of the boat. And of course, that was reminiscent of the time that originally when Peter had been called by Jesus, he'd had a similar encounter like that with Christ. So all this stuff starts coming back into Peter's mind at that moment of what Jesus had done for him earlier. And so was this moment that he realized, this is the Lord. They come onto the shore. Jesus begins to bake a little breakfast for them, cook some breakfast for them, and then he has this one-on-one encounter with Peter. Can you imagine this? This is the same one that said to the little girls out by the campfire, I don't know him, I don't know him, I don't know him. 3 times he said, I don't even know him. One time the Bible says he even cursed and said, I don't know him. And now Jesus is with Peter again, eyeball to eyeball, and he says, Peter, do you love me? Peter says, yes, I love you. Feed my lambs. Peter, do you love me? Yes, I love you. Feed my sheep. Peter, do you love me? Peter says, oh, he's grieved because Jesus is asking him the 3rd time, do you love me? And once again, Peter says, Lord, you know that I love you. And he says, feed my sheep. So what I want you to see, and I've taught this before, but I want you to be reminded of it today. There in that moment, Jesus was bringing Peter back into full restitution. Our Jesus is a Jesus of forgiveness and a Jesus of restoration. Isn't that good to know? That when you blow it, when you've messed up and you feel like that there's no future for you, Jesus comes along and looks at you eyeball to eyeball and says, there still is a future for you. There still is a hope for you. There still is something that I want you to do.